How would you go about dealing with heavy social anxiety, one that has been present for more than a decade? I think that all mental issues and mental illnesses, so social anxiety, I don't know if that would be considered a mental illness or what it would be called, but all of these things I think come from not following your flow and following fear. And it builds and builds. And it gets more and more complicated, and your body doesn't know how to handle it, so your body gets more and more tense. So basically you have to begin to understand what your body's saying and do as your body says rather than what your intellect says. So this is a process, and this process might take time, and you might need somebody to help guide you through that. I do one-to-one sessions, or on another live stream if you feel like it. If you can't afford a one-to-one session, then on a live stream you can phone me up and we can begin to work through it. But it requires 100% honesty and a preparedness to go into what you're experiencing, like an openness. But once you go back to your natural flow, then the social anxiety will go. The social anxiety is a result of too many emotions in your body, and the reason you've got too many emotions is you're not listening to your body, and your body gets more and more jarred, and then it becomes a habit. Every time you go to the shops now, there's a habit of tension. But we're also unique and individual, and so say if you're someone that's shy or introverted in this society, then society teaches you always have to be talking, you always have to reply as soon as the other person stops speaking. Like, notice when I don't reply instantly to somebody on live stream when we're talking, they always, hello, are you there? I know they can't see me, but it's just such an undone, not normal thing. Normally it's one person stops speaking and then the other person speaks. And if you're an introvert and an empath as well, then acting in these ways can be painful for the body. And if it's not acknowledged, over years and years, the body becomes more and more tense until somebody hates socializing. And then there's most probably post-traumatic stress disorder in there as well from it, from repetitively going against what you feel and being told that you have to be something which you're not. I don't like big public situations, which is really crazy because I do big public talks. I don't mind standing on stage and talking about this, but I don't like the chit-chat afterwards. And I don't like big family parties. And predominantly I don't like it is because I'm an empathetic person, and I'm an introvert, so I recharge alone, and I'm very sensitive, and so I find people's constant chit-chat difficult to keep up with. And then I find that I feel sorry for the person if I don't do it, because I can see that it creates a lot of insecurity in the other person if I don't respond in the manner that they expect, if I don't keep the chatter going. So I tend to not enjoy so much social situations, but I really try to keep to the rule, to try to follow my flow of what my body wants. So if I don't want to respond to someone, I try to follow that flow. But it's hard in social situations, especially big parties. And after talks sometimes, like, people come up and say lots of things to me, and sometimes I don't know what to say, and then I can see them going into insecurity because I'm not replying, and then I feel compassion for them. But really it's not my karma to look after anybody's response, and it's nobody's karma. Your karma is to be yourself, and if you're not yourself, then your body's going to hurt. So every time, like, I had to do a big family party where I was the center of attention, I didn't want to do it the other day, and there was something like, I think, 200 people there, and everyone wanted to come up and speak to me and say something. I just had to keep coming back to my feelings, and every time it was painful, really letting that pain in and really being with it when I didn't respond to people, in the right way. Or when I did force myself to respond to people and it didn't feel comfortable. Just be totally open to those feelings. If you're not, then your body's getting more and more tense and more shut down, and then you'll carry it on for a few days, and then it will come back up the next time you're in social situations. You really have to let and acknowledge the feelings in your bodies, what you're feeling. This is why people have panic attacks, because you hold your chest and you hold your shoulders and you begin to get tight of breath, because the panics come from many times not acknowledging what your body's saying to you and what your body wants, and ignoring it and keep pushing yourself into situations that are painful for you. I'm not saying don't do painful situations, but when you do painful situations, feel the feeling. Don't try to avoid the feeling. If you avoid the feeling, you're pushing it into your body, and it will have a long-term effect. You have to feel the pain of it then. The raw pain, the discomfort, the intimacy, the uncomfortableness. Totally let it be in consciousness. Don't ignore it. Don't try and use a mental story to avoid it. Which could be, I'm doing this wrong, I shouldn't be feeling this, or why am I in this situation, or why do they say that, or why do they act like this? Total intimacy, total surrender to it.